Welcome, everyone. I'm Shelby. Welcome to Soul Bloom over Zoom, where we're going to go through a little embodiment practice, a little bit of a container for sharing and moving through some energetics of this time, and then open up the space for a Q&A for if you have any questions about our retreat that's coming up in June. Um, would
Yeah,
you like to share anything, Bianca?
yeah, no, I'm Bianca, and I would also love to meet the person we do have on the call. Um, I'm one of the facilitators for Soul Bloom. I'm co-creating the container with Shelby. It's our third one. We're very excited to be putting this one on, and it's going to be truly special. So, yeah, just wanting to introduce myself. And Andrea, if you would like to introduce yourself, and then we can get to know our guest.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
See? Hi, my name is Andrea, and I will be, facilitating and coming along the adventures in Guatemala, doing some psychosomatic work and dancing and experiencing, yeah, the relationship in the mind and the body.
Mhm. Um, Go ahead, Shelby.
Yeah, I was just going to lead us into the practice.
Oh, sure. Well, I guess before I would love to if Caroline, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Caroline, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and telling us, what brought you into the space,
If you feel called to.
if you feel called to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's go into a practice together. You want to? Yeah, I've been feeling really called to share this one little breathwork practice with you guys that really drops you into the parasympathetic nervous system state. So out of fight or flight mode into that more restful state of presence and state of flow and surrender and softness. And so if you guys want to join me, I'd love to share it. This is one of my favorite breathwork techniques. And it's a diaphragmatic breath, meaning we're breathing from the belly, not the chest, but the belly. And each inhale will be very deep and full. The belly fills up like a balloon. Every exhale will be very slow and controlled, about 12 seconds long. So at first it's a little sticky, exhaling for that slow and that long. However, if you really just stick with it, it becomes easy. The breath starts to take over, and you'll feel the effects of the nervous system almost instantly. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall. You're welcome to stand or sit or lay down, whatever feels right. And close your eyes if that feels safe, or find a soft gaze toward the floor. Taking a deep breath in through your belly or in through your nose first. Exhale, sigh it out. All the way out. We'll do that 2 more times. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. And one more. Deep breath in. And release. All the way out until you're empty, closing your mouth, breathing in and out through the nose, and just bringing all of your awareness to your breath for a moment before we begin. Following the breath all the way into the body and all the way out. Noticing how your body responds with your breath. Beginning to soften the muscles of your face and your jaw. Building space between your teeth, relaxing your tongue, the center of your throat. On your next exhale, allowing the shoulders to soften, feel the weight of your hips. Allowing yourself to arrive here in your body for your practice. And building a strong connection with your breath. Every inhale, the belly expands. Every exhale, the belly softens back in. And now we'll begin pushing out every bit of air until you're empty, so we can all begin together. Holding the breath out just for a second. And this will be in and out through the nose. We'll begin with a deep inhale through the nose, right into the belly. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, inhale. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, inhale. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last one, inhale. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Holding your breath out just for a moment, softening in the face, the shoulders, the spine, the hips. And taking a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And finding a natural breath. Noticing if anything has shifted within you. Maybe you feel more present, more connected, more steady within the nervous system. And maybe not, and that's okay. Meeting yourself exactly where you are with your breath. Breathing out any resistance. And allowing yourself to arrive here for this experience as fully as you can in this moment. Thanking yourself for being here, for showing up for yourself, even in the small ways. Now we'll move into a little bit of embodiment, of somatic connection. Passing the mic to Andrea.
Okay, so for moving forward, I'm gonna invite you to stand up, come to your feet. And we're gonna go through just a few minutes of arriving into the body and allowing deeper parts of yourself to soften, working with our ability to be receptive and open and porous to life. And so in your standing stance, we're gonna just soften the knees, soften the hips, relax your pelvic floor, relax your belly fully, relaxing your shoulders, allowing your jaw to fully relax and all of your facial muscles, your tongue, your lips. And slightly shifting your weight to the back of your heels, allowing yourself to lean back, rolling your shoulders back, and softly opening up your chest. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. One more time, allowing a little bit of sound to come out. And from this space, I have a little exploration for us to do in bring awareness to a situation in life that we feel somewhat challenging, stuck, or stagnant energy, and that we feel like we're somehow just like hitting ourselves against the wall or repeating the same patterns, and somehow it just feels like we can't get through it, we can't move through it. And this is an exercise that I usually do. I use the wall or the floor, but today we're gonna use our bodies only. And we're gonna bring our right hand up and just press it against your forehead. And we're doing this counter pressure, pressing into the forehead and our forehead pressing into the hand. And take a moment to visualize a situation in your life right now that you feel this battle, this struggle. What is it that you are in friction with? And just take a few breaths here with yourself. Bring that vision, bring that memory, that energy to the front. And we're gonna press against it and press against it, fighting our way through. And we're gonna take a deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, you're going to shift your hand and slowly just move to the side, allowing yourself to caress with your arm. And so what we're doing here is shifting our perspective, shifting what we experience as a conflict and seeing it as the solution. This is our support. And it can be our challenge, or it can be also something that is helping us get somewhere. And so by shifting the way that we experience it, that we interact with these situations and approaching them with curiosity, and what is this teaching me? How is this guiding me? How can I see it from a different perspective? And so shifting the way we lean against it. And of course, when we're working with this with the wall, for example, the wall can feel very restrictive to be pushing against it with our head. And then the moment we shift to the side and we place our shoulder on the wall, you can also try it if you have a wall nearby, and then maybe shift all the way to your back. And then you lean back and the wall is actually nothing that's constricting you, but it's something that's holding you and that it feels really safe and really supportive. And so by simply playing with how can I turn my perspective on this thing and how can I alchemize this shadow that feels like shadow into opportunity, into light, into expansion. And we can practice physically and imagine. Imagery is super, super helpful to work with the subconscious and allow our body to inform our mind that there are other ways to move through life without pushing through resistance. And so just taking a few moments to experience what you're experiencing. Coming back to your center. Notice what you notice. Mm. And from here, just passing the mic to Bianca for a little bit of a different exploration.
Thank you, Andrea. That was powerful. I've never considered using a wall or my hand to physically, somatically confront my energy. And I'll just share briefly for me. I was able to distill the feeling of not being able to fully trust myself, like fully trust myself to create. Even though I do that a lot, I create a lot, and I it's part of the process of constantly leaning into my creation. But like this next level of myself is really calling upon me to fully trust myself. And in trusting myself, it's in letting go, surrendering after the creation has been done, and then trusting the universe, trusting God, trusting the people around me in my community to support. So yeah, that feeling for me, it was like, okay, I have this, it's right here, it's hard. I'm like, oh, I felt like I'm fighting it. And then when I leaned, I mean, I imagined myself literally leaning and then feeling supported by a wall. And as my chest began to open, it felt like that, almost like when you do a trust fall, you're just like, I'm gonna just trust fall into life. And it felt really good to open my chest. And then when I realized what was I falling into, well, I had my feet like anchored into the ground, and I had my connection to the earth, and then that very strong base of like, oh, like this never leaves me, until the day I leave this plane of existence. um so that was good. That was wonderful. Thank you. That was perfect. Yeah, so around the same theme of us learning to trust ourselves, I want to highlight that we are, I guess, astrologically, if you follow that, but even if you're just tuning into a lot of the kind of energy of the season, we're thawing out of the winter. We're thawing out of that closed cocoon and into this next season, which is the spring. And well, depending on what hemisphere of the world you live on, right? But for North America and most of South America, that's the case. And so I would say, this process of thawing out and then moving into the next, at least for me, has evoked a big impulse to create and to step into the newness. But when we choose to do that, and when we say yes to that part of our lives and our next level, the skin, the crunchy little bits of the snake, right? Like the shedding of the snake, that skin is like the residual is still there, and it's just like holding on, and it's not wanting to fully let go. And or at least it wants to, and it's going to, but there's always a little bit of that. At least in my experience, it's been like that. So I've come through the shedding over the last 2 or 3 days. And it was a really intense portal for me because um, some of the work that we're going to be doing in Soul Bloom is about understanding your season and what season you're in and in your cycle. And typically, when you're really living life and thriving and like everything is feeling pretty harmonious and balanced, you can follow your menstrual cycle and you can expect and know that when you have your bleed, your hormones are going to be, your progesterone is going to be high, your hormones are going to be lulled, and you're going to be shut down. And so to be in a season of ovulation where I'm supposed to be feeling phenomenal, and then all of a sudden being hit with this identity crisis felt really destabilizing. And what it created was this chemical soup of, I feel spiritually and emotionally a lot of charge and a lot of fire and a lot of desire to like burn this part of me down, this part of me that feels afraid, this part of me that feels limited and or scarcity or distrusting. I wanted to burn her down. And I was angry, holding a lot of anger in my body towards myself over not being able to fully let it go and questioning, why am I here again? Why am I feeling these feelings when so many things are happening in my favor, when life is unfolding in my favor? And yet here I am. And getting challenged and tested and doubting myself. And so it was this strange duality to live in of like knowing my truth and knowing my power and my capacity and my creativity, but not fully trusting it, and then being angry with myself for not being in that state of trust. And then also like double punishing myself because I'm like, I'm supposed to be amazing. And in that state, actually I contacted Shelby and I was like sharing with her about all this, that's the beauty of these containers, as we have a sisterhood and we can lean on each other and we can contact each other. And so I told her where I was at, and she lovingly reminded me that I get to have grace for myself and I get to have compassion for where I'm at. And I get to be in the surrendered state of whatever is moving through me. And in that reminder, I was able to detach from that critical voice long enough to be like, oh, I was so in it. I was so in the spiral that I couldn't even see that critical voice was not me. It was not my true self. It was just a version of me that was in pain and suffering. And was literally in that for about 2 days. And that's a long time. That's a long time to be in any level of pain and suffering. And some people, I mean, I've had a history of being in that for weeks at a time or, months at a time where I just couldn't get out of that storm. And now through doing this constant work and coming back, like, I'm glad that I only have a day or 2 days where I'm in that and then I move through it. Right. But nonetheless, it can be painful. And so, I had that loving reminder. And then that same night, I actually leaned into another friend, and she and I walked through a really beautiful ritual process that I would love to bring into the this container to share. And it's basically a practice of being able to see and witness and hold any part of yourself that is in conflict, and to just create a space for dialogue, for connection from the heart and witnessing of those parts. We all have parts. We have many different parts that make up who we are. And some lead the charge more than others. And you'd be surprised when doing this kind of work, like there could be just like so many that come through. But oftentimes when we're challenged in a specific way, there are one or two or three parts that are really leading the charge there. So I'm going to go ahead and just walk us through a ritual practice. And for the person who's here on the chat, just feel free to continue to listen in. If there's any piece of this that's resonating with you, I would love for you to just type in the chat. Let us know if you're feeling this, if this feels aligned to you. And then, just hoping that this serves and you're able to receive it. And so the invitation next is going to be for us to just close our eyes. And I'm going to take us in by creating first the sacred container. This is a sacred exploration where we get to draw upon all these elements that help us break through and help create and help us be who we are. And so take a moment to close your eyes and just drop into your body. And so as you drop in, the invitation is going to be for you to take a deep breath in through your nose and send that breath all the way down into the heart. And exhale. And now we're going to call in the elements that make up our reality. We're going to start with the earth. So feeling the earth beneath you. Just feel your feet grounded and connected. Remembering that gravity is your first mother. You are safe with her. She will always be here to bring you back down if you just tune in. So calling on the element of the earth as the element that makes up our bones, our tissue, the mud that is our spirit, that texture of who we are, that makes us human. Next, feel the element of water. We're going to call in that the rivers, the oceans, the rain. Imagining that rain just dropping into your skin and penetrating you and penetrating your cells. So witnessing the water element that runs in and within us through every cell, giving us vitality and life force, giving us the capacity and the power to move emotionally, to ride the waves. And just feeling that wave of who you are. Next, let's call in the element of fire. Visualizing the fire burning before us, burning and creating a path. The fire is the element of the alchemical element, the process that creates, ignites, transmutes, transforms, alchemizes, burns things down so things can be rebuilt, turns things on, turns yourself on. Your fire might be the element that is driving you forward to take action. And so witnessing the fire burning through us, through the energy that we pulsate through our heart, that frequency, the electromagnetic field that we generate, the electricity that runs up and down our spine as the fire that lives within us. And now from the heart, witnessing a blaze of fire opening a trail in front of you, opening the path for your awareness to be heightened and to expand. Next, we're going to call in air. And with air, just take a deep breath in. Sending that air into your lungs, into your belly, exhaling and softening, connecting that air to the air around you that surrounds all things, contains all things. God is in the air. Life force, vitality is in the breath. Remembering that as we move through the reflections and whatever we witness today during this exercise, that we breathe, that we just breathe through it. We remember that there's power in our breath and there's healing and graciousness. So allow yourself to receive that medicine whenever you need it. And lastly, we're going to call in the element of the ether. The ether is the space in between all things, the space within you, and the space all around you that connects all of the elements, that connects the sky with the earth and the planets and the cosmos all together. Within the ether is contained the divine intelligence that informs all things. It informs your mind, and your creativity. It is the complex sequence of fractals and energy that forms the chaos of creation, but also the unity and the clarity and the connection of it all. The sacred nature of who we are is in that intelligence that resides within the ether. And so calling in that divinity, allowing it to surround you, seeing it all around you and within you. Taking a deep breath here, and just recognizing that as we explore throughout this exercise, understanding that nothing within you is an enemy, nothing that comes from within you is here to hurt you inherently. There may be parts that have tension and that hold fears, but these are just messages. These are just insights to help you get clear. And so as we invoke this practice, we're allowing ourselves to take a moment to just bear witness to these parts of ourselves, holding grace and compassion for who they are, for how they show up in our lives. I'm going to invite you to next imagine yourself sitting at a table. And I want you to just imagine what the table looks like. This is your table. This is where your inner world comes to sit, where your inner council comes to gather and meet. What does it look like? What does that table look like? Just hold it within your awareness and take a seat at it. And as you take your seat, the invitation is going to be to think of those parts that you're meeting right now, parts of you that have held resistance or recently, or maybe perhaps felt challenged in some way. Maybe you're bringing forth the parts that feel most activated in this moment of your life. As you sit with this, go ahead and begin to call in those parts. Let them take a seat at the table, noticing what shows up. Call in that first part. Notice where she comes in, where she sits at the table, what she looks like. Perhaps she has a very specific age, or an expression, or a posture. Just notice what that part looks like. And let's now call in the next part. See if anybody else comes through that wants to sit at the table for this conversation now. Bring another part in if it's here, if it's showing up for you. Who is it? Allow her to come in and take a seat. Noticing where at the table she sits, on what side. Again, noticing her age, what she looks like. Any symbols that she holds or expressions. And taking a deep breath in, feeling the sensation of these two parts and their presence here with you on the table. And let's check in right now and see if there's anyone else that wants to come and take a seat. allowing yourself the moment to scan your awareness. Just getting curious. There's no right or wrong way. This is just what's showing up for you now. And so, as we're sitting here witnessing these parts, let's go ahead and start with the part that's to the right of you. Tuning your attention to that part. And just noticing what she's here for. What message does she have for you? And just listening. As you connect to this part and listen, tune into her directly. Feel her intention. What does she want to share? How is she here to guide you? Is there any way that she's here to protect you? Or to teach you something? Just noticing what she has to say. And if you feel called, we're all muted here. You can feel free to respond to that part. Or maybe even say out loud what it is that she has to tell you. Noticing how your connection to that part resides in your body. Where does it live? Noticing as you connect to her, where you feel her message imprinting on your body. Where does she want you to soften? Taking the next few moments to see if there's anything else that she wants to say before turning to the next part. And now going over to the part on your left. Taking a moment to also take her in. Noticing the difference between her energy. And what message does she have for you? Why is she here? Why did she come to this conversation? Feel free to say out loud what she's saying to you if that helps you better hear her. Is there anything else that she wants to show you, teach you, guide you through? Just becoming curious about her presence. You tune into her and just ask, is there anything else that wants to be expressed before we tune into any other part that might be here today? Noticing where her energy lives in your body, where her words and her intentions connect to where you are holding her in your body. Where does she want you to soften? I'm just taking a deep breath here. And as we hold these two parts before visiting the last, just take a moment to hold both parts simultaneously and see if they have any messages for each other. Where can they come into common ground? Where can they hold compassion for one another and for you? And as you receive that insight, just letting it land in your awareness. And now allowing yourself to scan the table and to see if there's any other parts that have to say something right now. Anything that wants to come through, anyone that wants to come through who has a message for you that would help you gain clarity over this challenge or over this density. And if there's no one else, that's fine. Maybe you've already received the insights. As you integrate whatever it is that this final part has to say, noticing it, listening, taking it in. And now the final invitation is for you to affirm these parts. So taking a moment to look at the part to your right and to just share with them what you saw, what you see, what you or how you wish to acknowledge them. Thank them. Thank them for whatever insight whatever love they've given in this moment, or why, for the reason why they're here. And you can say it out loud if you'd like, speaking to them. And once that feels complete, turn to the other part on the opposite side. And same thing, just acknowledge them. Give thanks for the lesson. Give thanks for their truth. Feel free to say it out loud to them. Noticing the expressions on all of these parts now as they come together. Noticing how they feel or how they look in their bodies. If they feel softened or more connected to you, or witnessed and seen, and therefore at ease. Noticing how your body feels as you receive them. And on the next breath, the invitation is to pull those parts back into you. You can literally use your hands if you want to and visualize yourself pulling the energy back into yourself. Landing it in the heart. Noticing what your body feels like as your parts are integrated. As the insights came through and what that means for you now. Taking a few breaths here. Allowing yourself to bring it all together. Still witnessing yourself sitting at this table. We're going to go ahead and close the practice by giving thanks to the elements, the earth, giving thanks to the water for helping us move and transmute and to shift awareness. We're giving thanks to the fire for its power of creation. Thank you to the air that surrounds and contains all things. And thank you to the ether. Our divinity for holding us. And so you can allow yourself to just kind of give a nod of thanks for these elements that are always within us and throughout us, holding us. And when you feel ready, just allowing yourself to slowly open your eyes and come back into the space. Beautiful. Thank you for participating in that with me. I hope it was insightful. We have about another 7 minutes before the call technically concludes. And so I would love to invite our lovely guest, if there's any questions, or anything you want to share about your experience, feel free to do so now. as well as any questions that you might have about Soul Bloom, about the retreat. And yeah, we're just here to listen and to support and to offer you guidance.
Speaking for myself, that was very potent and powerful for all that I've been moving through. For some reason, at first, I thought you brought in three parts. So there is this abandonment, abandoned part of me. And she showed up as this little child. You can still hear me talking? Okay, good. She showed up as this little child version of me to my right. Just really young, white blonde hair, maybe 4 years old. And on the other side was this shameful version of me, which was like kind of my age, but a little more pessimistic and passive and kind of stuck in patterns and loops of self sabotage and whatnot. And then in front of me, across the way, was unworthiness, and it's just this feeling of unworthiness that's been coming up specifically in relationships and feeling like I'm not good enough. And once I connected with the abandoned child, it was like she almost instantly merged into me. It didn't even wait until the end. And then shame, and then I realized that they were the same and all in one, right? And and then by that time the unworthy part of me was just already gone. She was just gone. So by the time I connected with the abandonment wound and then the shame that was within me, the unworthiness was like stemming from those two, right? And so that piece of me was just all the way gone, and and it was just really profound and beautiful, and I really appreciate the journey. Um, so that yeah, that was my experience with it.
Beautiful. Yeah, they're all connected,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's really crazy how we feel this dissonance
Mm-hmm.
that creates suffering, right? Because it's like we have these internal pieces, but they all have our best interests and our hearts, right? They're holding our hearts. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's all work I've been doing the past few days. It's just like that this practice just kind of solidified it. It like
Mm,
brought it all together, and any little pieces that were still lingering just kind of pulled right back into my heart, back into that wholeness, back
mm.
into the wholeness of all that is, really.
So glad that it was good for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, it was amazing when I did it. I felt like it just all this clarity came through once it was all together, all this clarity, and I've been able to take powerful actions that have felt very full body yes versus having scatteredness and fear. Yeah. Mhm. Anything you'd like to share, Andrea?
Thank you, Bianca. I ah um yeah, I just want to say thank you for guiding. I really appreciated the way you moved through and your timing and everything. And I'm not gonna share it right now, but yeah, it was really powerful. Thank you.
Well, oh, I've muted myself. Shelby, please feel free to close us out.
Yeah, of course. We have space for any questions. Our sweet guest, Caroline, if you have any questions, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. And in the meantime, as we wait for you, if you have any questions about our Soul Bloom experience, this is our third Soul Bloom. We've been hosting these women's embodiment retreats in Central America. First year it was Panama, Bocas del Toro, then Uvita, Costa Rica, and now we're going to Guatemala, and there's distractions happening. Now we're going to Guatemala, and that'll be this June 7th through the 14th. And this will be a juicy one, the most immersive soul bloom we've curated, right? Culturally immersive. So we'll be really embedded in the culture, really tapped into the lands, even more so than before. I do believe that every year we're evolving and learning more about how to hold space, how to create these containers, and it's really showing up in what we're doing and what we're moving through as we're creating it, right? It's like spirit's just moving through us. So we're super excited for this journey. Um, Most of the website has all the information you need on it. So the website is ecstaticshakti.love, and I'll put in the um, chat here, ecstaticshaktiyoga.love/soul bloom retreat. Awesome. Yeah. And there you can learn all the information about the retreat. We're also offering a special offer today for everyone who joined. You can reserve your spot for just $300 today, and we'll send you that link via email. So I've got your email from the Zoom sign up, the registration. So we'll send you a little letter, email with that link if you want to go ahead and reserve your spot. And then what's really awesome about this deposit is since you're on the call, if you're able and willing to bring a friend and that friend signs up, and once she pays in full, you'll get that $300 deposit back. So that's a great opportunity to get a discount on this beautiful transformational journey and to bring a friend so that your friend can experience the transformation and the healing as well. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, there's a whole lot I can say about this experience. It's going to be a really good one, but we'll leave it at that. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out any way you feel called to. You could reply through the email, you could hit us up on social media. Um, yeah, whatever feels right for you, we're here for it.
Thank you,
Thank
Shelby.
you, Shelby. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you for the space.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes. Thank you, sisters. Hope you all have a beautiful night.
Yes, love you all. Thank you for joining us.
Ciao, ciao.
Mwah.
Bye.